Hey guys, Hook to Clash here, and today I've got a great video for you all. I know a few of you have been crying out for me to put some of my Legends League replays on the channel. So as you can see, it is the final day of Legends League here, and we've got one more attack. And just to jump out of this, I am at 5,800. We find ourselves within the top 1,000, but if this attack goes well, I should be able to get inside the top 500, which would be my PB. As you can see, my next best was 685th in the world last year. So it's been a really good season for me. Let's see if we can finish it off with the triple. Then after this, I'll go through the army I'm using, the base I'm using, and some notable triples on some bases I got. But we've got to do this attack quickly. We've got 10 minutes left in the day. Here's the army, by the way. I'll kind of explain it in more depth in the replays. But yeah, let's just see how this final attack of the season goes. Maybe it goes well, maybe it goes horribly. We'll find out. It's most likely going to go horribly, though. I really don't like this style of base. These core air defenses are really bad for my army here. So what can we do? Whew, these bases are never fun. I'm just trying to think of how I want to do it. I think I'm going to... So what I'm going to do, we're going to blimp the town hall here. Then king and queen 6 up. And something like that. So I want to use these rocket balloons to take down this wizard tower, because that's going to set a really good funnel. Oh, they didn't take it down. Well, we got to start. There should really not be any SAMs there. Unfortunately, I should have frozen that first, but that's fine. That should go down. Unfortunately, we don't get any of the Teslas, but that's okay. We can live with that. Start the queen. She's going to have to deal with a lot of the CC. Honestly, I'm going to use most of my loons there to funnel that those Teslas so that none of my troops go anywhere near that sweeper. Unfortunately, they are still struggling. But everything's down. We're not looking too bad. We're about to freeze the eagle. I'm going to freeze that and put down you. A few more CC troops coming out, that's fine. We just got to split our spells up really nicely here. Oh, I froze the eagle too late. It was already shooting, so a bit of a waste there. Get the single. We'll put down a skelly here. RC is going to come in. We've got to freeze these air defenses because my air troops are running out. Fortunately, that's all our spells at this point. So now we just got to sit and pray. But look at these bases are just so bad for this army, and particularly Edrags, because look at it. These air defenses just dominate your troops. And unfortunately, this is like, unfortunate way to end the season, but this is absolutely the worst base for this army. It is very hard to triple. If you triple this style of base with this army, that is very impressive, just to say the least. Hopefully, we've got an outside chance of getting like a reasonable percent here still. We'll do that there. Do that there, just so that the queen... I mean, if I had like a... Maybe I shouldn't have used so many freezes on this left AD and just accepted that it wasn't going to go down. But unfortunately, not a lot I can do. It also hurts not having the lassie for my RC. But I'm not here to make excuses. I don't really care whether I triple or not. I've had a fantastic season. Last Legends Day wasn't very good. We're going to go a little bit negative. But I'm very happy with how I went, honestly. Pushing's not really my sort of thing. You guys know I've... kind of a bit about it. I don't really like doing my hits on the stream or on YouTube because I'm just generally a little insecure about. But nicely done there. We're still going to get a reasonable percent. Like I said, if you want to defend this attack or Edrags, run this exact base. It will work almost 100 times out of 100. That's how good it is. Archer, it's not going to work anyway. So we'll jump out of that one. 29 cups. Oh well. Anyways, let's have a look at the leaderboard here. So, where are we on the global? GG's to all these players at the top, by the way. You're all absolutely insane. But if we go down and have a look there, as you can see, finished just outside the top 500. I'll absolutely take it. We drop a bit today, but not too bad considering I really only pushed for a week, sorry. And if we have a look at the most important thing, I am the #1 attacker in Australia by an absolute mile. So challenges out to the rest of you Aussies. let's see what happens next season. Let's see if we can get a few more Aussies above the 5,800 mark, because it is a little bit disappointing. Anyways, that's it for the live attack. We're going to jump to some replays in a second here and go through my base and explain my army. Okay, so I only have a few replays to show today, but I figured what better replay than to show my attack against Stars. I believe this account was in the top 15 in the world. Stars had an amazing Legend League season. Unfortunately, I kind of ruined a bit of his last day with the triple, but he probably expects it at that level. Now, this style-based anti-twos used to be really ugly to me, but there is a reason I use this attack strategy in Legends, and that's because this attack strategy destroys anti-twos. So I used the king down there. I wanted him to beat the wall, but didn't expect him to. As you can see on the top side, I used 2 rocket loons to take out a corner air defense. I love doing that. It's so strong. And then just an Inferno Drag to funnel, and I'm setting up a great path through the base here. Now, the reason, sorry, before I go on any further, the reason we're coming in from this angle is from this angle we can get to the CC, Town Hall, and Eagle pretty easily. But particularly the Eagle and the Town Hall, because I'm going to blimp the Eagle and the CC, sorry. Because we're going to blimp the Town Hall no matter what, so that's fine. But you need to get the Eagle and the CC down, both of them, as soon as possible. You need the CC down, because if there's a Hound in there, you can't have your RC pulling the Hound when she's going around trying to finish off the base. Same with your King and Queen as well, because your heroes have to do so much work for this to be an effective attack strategy. And the Eagle just does so much damage to your troops. If you allow it to hit your Inferno Drags and your Dragon Riders multiple times, it will destroy your army. There's no two ways about it. Now, I started my warden a bit lower here because I wanted those loons to get that air defense at the bottom that we couldn't really reach with our King and Queen. Thankfully, the King beat inside a couple of walls, and he's actually going to take out the enemy RC really nicely. Blimp is trying to make it to the Town Hall. Generally, I'm not too concerned, but I did get a little concerned on this attack, actually, and I think we do miss the Town Hall. It was a little unlucky, to be honest, but the benefit of this attack strategy, the Inferno Rider one, is I have 9 freezes with this composition, so even if we don't initially get the Town Hall, as long as we've got the Rage there and the freezes to keep the loons alive, anything is possible. And as you can see, King, Queen, and RC are the real heroes of this attack. The Inferno Drag portion of this hasn't done a whole lot. It did gut most of the core, so, you know, nicely done by it. But all the power in this attack strategy is from the King and Queen. So essentially what I do with this army is I'm going to use all the freezes, dedicate them to the Inferno Drags and the Dragon Riders. And then the 2 skeletons are to help out my King and Queen, because I actually find skeletons do more to tank for your heroes than a freeze does, because there's lots of ground bows on these bases, lots of heroes, and the skeletons do better at tanking them for a longer period of time. As you can see, we had to use our Queen ability to get through the enemy King there, but like this was pretty wrecked. Having 3 heroes up, the 3 heroes used on the flank is a really good sign, and we take down Stars there. Sorry about that, buddy. But anyways, let's get into the next attack. Okay, so another ring base here. So how are we going to come at this one? So as I've been talking with all of them, you want to get to the Eagle and CC the quickest. And you don't really, well, some of you might be like, well, look, come this way. You get to Eagle quick and you can get to the CC. But a CC in this position here, a CC in this position here, if you're coming from this way, is horrible because it's behind the Town Hall. So if your troops are going to take it out, they have to stand in the Town Hall poison, and that's the last thing you want. So what I'm doing, I want the King to go down and around here. But look, this Yak will always beat the wall like this. And this is really handy because I'm actually going to abuse this here. We use the Queen to essentially come into that wall break. Unfortunately, I start my Inferno Drags a little late here. So the King's going to walk down. As you see, we use a loon to tank the air defense, then 2 rocket balloons behind. We get that air defense down the bottom, and we're setting a really good funnel. Early Warden, as is usual with Edrags or Inferno Drags, to keep them alive, and the blimps going into the core. Rage, there's so much going on at this point in time, but the loons do get the Town Hall. The 9 loon CC is my favorite. I know some people use Dragon Riders with 4 loons or a baby drag with 7 loons. My favorite's 9 loons. That's just my preference. The King actually goes in and pulls the Hound, by the way. He was not very nice to me, this attack. But as long as we keep freezing the Sweeper, Scattershot, and Airbow, then we've got a really good chance here. And I actually freeze the Hound this time, That's because if the Inferno Drags move, their charge up ability kind of is wasted. They reset back to 0. So that's why freezing the sweepers and anything that's a moving target is often a good thing. And despite pulling the CC, despite 4 airbows, despite it just not being a nice base in general, we've kind of wrecked this. I've got my RC ability. I've got my Queen ability. I did not need to use the RC ability there. It was always going to be a triple. And yeah, a few things went wrong. But this army, if you try this army for a fair bit and you get good at it, there's no reason that you shouldn't triple nearly every ring base. And that is the strength of this army. In like the 55, 5600s, even 5700s in Legends, you run into predominantly anti-2 ring bases, and if you struggle to get through that with your normal army, try this out, and then you'll find that you'll jump ahead of that group, and then you get up to like the 5800s where there's less ring bases, and then you probably got to switch to another army. But let's show a different style of base in the next attack. As you can see, this is 0 here. Yes, the 0 that has 2 accounts always in the top 10. And this was his account that was at number 3 in the world when I hit him. And he's running a diamond base is the best way I would describe it. This style of base is pretty bad for Inferno Drags just because it's really awkward to find like a place on the base where you want to come into, because you can't just easily blimp the Town Hall at 12, unfortunately, and you can't get to the Eagle quickly if you want to blimp the Town Hall, if that makes sense. So I actually tried something different here. So essentially what I'm going to do, using a couple of loons and the Stone Slammer at 6 o'clock, and that's job is to clear out that entire flank. The Inferno Drag's in the middle, and I just want them to gut the core. And as you can see, I'll pause it quickly, but the range of this CC does not really cover the Town Hall. It kind of does, but my plan is for the King and Queen to go and get the Town Hall here, because if they get the Town Hall, means I can use this Stone Slammer safely, and that's really good value. Worst case scenario, I will use my RC to get the Town Hall, because the CC is out of range, but that's worst case scenario. We don't really want that to happen if we can help it. Now, if the CC's in range on this style base, unfortunately, you probably just have to blimp it and accept that your King and Queen are not going to get the Town Hall, or even if they do, you're not going to want to pull a Hound, even though most Legends League CCs at the moment are like 45 archers. Nice freeze on the single. Town Hall scatters. I mean, there's so much to explain with this army. I hope I'm doing a good job for you all, but it's literally just using your freezes on scatters, multis, air defenses, heroes, and then using your skellies for your King, Queen, and RC. As you see, I've got a skelly near the Town Hall here, tanking the single. And then a skelly was at 8 o'clock, tanking for my RC. Now, this final single is a little pesky here, but we've got enough troops up, and we're just going to be able to get through the back end here. So in terms of like Legends League bases, ring bases with this army are absolutely the easiest. You should back yourself to triple everyone. Then it's like diamond bases. They're tough. You won't triple more than you don't, but you've got a chance against them. As you can see, we've kind of overkilled this. It just worked out really nicely, especially, like I said, I'm going to reiterate it, but when King and Queen don't lure the CC when they're going for the Town Hall, then you've always got a good chance. And then box spaces, as you saw in the live attack earlier, are absolutely the worst style of base for this army. We got one more attack to show you all with the army, and then we're going to move on to my defense. Okay, this is Sam of Mega Empire here. This is the final replay for the day. Now, was this a very convincing triple? Not at all. You'll see this replay takes a little longer than the other ones. That's because it kind of comes down to the end. But I figured I'd show you all that, yes, you can triple diamond bases, but some of the time it's just not going to be pretty. So, on this one, I was like, you know what? The Town Hall's right there. I tried something new, and I would not recommend doing this because I got very lucky here. But I was like, I'm not going to blimp the Town Hall because I'm kind of just going alongside it. I'll bring the Stone Slammer and try and just overwhelm the base. Unfortunately, we popped the Warden a little early, and look how long it's going to take my troops to get, because of this sweeper, it takes them so long to get to the Town Hall. So they finally all make it here, but look at it. They're all going to path over it because the Stone Slammer has gutted out the core of the base. There is nowhere for all of my troops on the right-hand side to go but the Town Hall. So if you hit this style of base, I could not recommend enough, rather than coming in, like, just bring the blimp. Blimp the Town Hall early and have the Inferno Drags go into the core instead of the Stone Slammer. Now, it is nice using the Rage on this, admittedly, for the Loons and the Inferno Drags, but it's not as good as, you know, I mean, I lost 10 Inferno Drags and Dragon Riders to the Town Hall. It's a little too much there. Queen and RC have their ability. Warden is about to die, but he's done solid work. We pop the RC ability. She's still going okay here. Queen with the unicorn is so important. I can't recommend this enough. If you're doing this army, try not to be upgrading your unicorn. That's the most important pet in this by an absolute mile, because your queen has so much work to do with this army. The queen is the strongest hero in this, because generally you're just popping the warden ability early. The owl is nice, but I mean, there's so many other air troops that you don't really need it. The yak's nice for the king, but yet again, if the king and queen go on the outside, not the end of the world. But the queen staying full health, like look at my queen. She has taken damage throughout this from multis, from Teslas, from mortars, from cannons, but she's currently at full health. If I had to pop her ability any sooner than I did here, we would have been in a lot of trouble. So Queen's got more health than not, and thankfully, this archer on the top right side is kind of my hero, because she takes out, the archer takes out everything to the right of this gold storage. My queen actually beats the wall out of range of the scatter shot, and as you can tell what's going to happen here, she just beats through it and gets the triple. But to be honest, this would have been so much more wrecked if we just blimped the town hall and had everything go to the core, because we lost so many troops to the town hall. But yeah, that's a recap of all the offense today. Let me know what you think of the army, but let's get straight into defense. Okay, so we've got Peter Lino here of NGT Legends, a very, very good player with Blizzard Lalo. But quickly before we talk about A, the army, and B, my base, I just want to say that, like, yes, offense is important in Legends League, but if you want to get high up in Legends, the most important thing is defense. There are so many players I know who are putting up way higher numbers than me. I was kind of averaging in the mid 260s with Inferno Drags towards the end, which isn't horrible. It was like 3 triples a day normally on average, sometimes 2, sometimes 4, but never more or less. But it's all about defense, and with this base that I ran, this base was built by Yo-Yo, by the way. I don't want to take any credit for it. It is a Yo-Yo base. With this base, I was averaging like 220s probably on defense, maybe 230s, which is just really stellar stuff. There's not many bases you will find that will hold that good. For instance, on the last day of Legends League, JD9, who we got on the channel at some point, so look forward to that. JD9 lost 320 on defense. Now, he is a little bit higher than me, but I mean, I'm getting hit by Peter Lino here. He was in the top 50, so I'm going to be being hit by some tough people as well, but I'm taking, on average, 90 cups less than 320. So it is all about your base. Make sure you find a base that works for you. Just because this worked for me doesn't mean it will work for you necessarily. But yeah, that is my biggest advice. Now, as you can see on this base, he had to kind of blizzard the town hall, he felt. And there's not a lot of chain value off the town hall. That's what I really like about this. Everything around the town hall has a 2-tile gap. So literally no value off the town hall, and he doesn't get the CC pull, so he has to deal with the Hound and Ice Golem during his Sui. Now, Hound Ice Golem, I think, is the second best Legend CC at the moment. I think the best one is Mass Archers, and I might be tempted to run that on this base next season, but I kind of liked what the Hound and Ice Golem was doing for me. So as you can see, he doesn't get any scatters with the Sui, and he doesn't get that core multi. It's so nice for me that Hound Ice Golem really held him up. Otherwise, we would have been in a bit of trouble here, but as you can see, the loons path around the core. I've got builder huts and Teslas set up deliberately so that the loons go around. Obviously, Yo-Yo's design, but I did edit the traps and builder huts a little bit. And as you can see, we've got 2 scatters up, and they're just going to tear through these loons. And, you know, a defense against the likes of Peter Lino is insane, particularly because I think this was only like an 85%-ish attack. We're going to skip through this. But yeah, it wasn't that many cups, and anytime you can hold below 90% in Legends is something that you've got to take immense pride in almost, because only losing 28 on defense is a major win there. Let's go to the next attack strategy used on the base. Okay, the next army I'm going to showcase here is Edrags. Now, this guy doesn't have max loons, but it definitely wouldn't have made a difference in the context of this attack. Edrags obviously got an upgrade in the summer update, and lots of people were using them, but people eventually figured out how to build against them. Now, this base, I will say, is not particularly anti-Edrag like you see a lot of the other top Legends bases. All of the air defenses on this base are chainable and reachable from the outside. So Edrags was one of the most interesting armies for me with this base, because if I could defend Edrags with this base, that was going to be awesome for me, just on the basis that this base is more targeted at stopping Blizzard Lalos, Blizzard Dragons, P.E.K.K.A. Smash, Queen Charge Hybrid. It's more targeted at stopping that than Edrags, but if it can stop Edrags anyway, then you can really hone in on the other armies. So let's see what happens here. Now, I do get a little lucky that the King lures my Hound and Ice Golem, but even then, all the traps are set up on this base to stop this style of hit. All of my SAMs are in and around my scatter compartment, because I'm not expecting anyone to go into the town hall, and having SAMs on the outside is kind of pointless at the moment, because people bring so many loons and they warden immediately that the loons are going to make it so far through the base to pull any SAMs. So you need to have them deeper in the base, and I reckon about 3 or 4 of my SAMs got Edrags here, and that was the biggest reason we defended. Otherwise, this hit was looking really good. Blimp gets the town hall, and he still has his RC, and his queen is still hanging on for life with the unicorn, which is really nice for him. But unfortunately for this attacker here, H2M, it's just not enough. This ground bow is doing work, by the way. I do like having the 2 ground bows by the town hall, but I do have 4 ground bows on this base, but I'm tempted to move a couple to air next season. I will admit that. Even potentially the 2 near the town hall, but I haven't decided on that yet. I do really like this base. Hopefully it holds again next season. As you can see here, 16 seconds left. I believe he runs out of time with an Edrag hit, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, holding below 80% against Edrags is insane, particularly because of how strong they are when you aren't specifically building to stop them. If you specifically build to stop them, then yes, they're not as powerful. But yeah, nice defense for us there. I've got one more replay for you. Okay, so admittedly, Hybrid isn't the strongest strategy anymore, but there are still a few people using it in Legends, particularly more so lower in like the mid-range of 55, 56, 5700s. But I wanted to show this replay because this isn't as much about the hybrid as it is about how hard it is to queen charge this base. Now, queen charge Lalo, for instance, is one of the strongest Legends League armies, but this base is it's really not that easy to queen charge. Now, I would have shown you a queen charge Lalo if I could, but I actually have no queen charge Lalo replays, even triples on my base. I haven't been hit by queen charge Lalo in the last 2 days, and that's how far back my replays go. So not a lot we can do about that, as my dog snores in the background. I love Pandora. Anyways, queen charge is going okay here. He does a smart thing. He's trying to go around the town hall, because if you queen charge into the town hall, A, there's so much damage there, but B, your queen's more likely to go through that town hall poison effect than if you come at the town hall on an angle. Gets the adjoining wall break there. It does only just open the town hall compartment there, and we'll see if the queen goes in it there. Lots of damage on the queen now. This is why I like all the ground bows. But I'm tempted to switch. We did see a lot of Blizzard Dragons by the end of the season, and 4 ground bows spread amongst the base doesn't really do a whole lot. But it is working wonders here. And queen, unfortunately, on this for this attacker, I didn't have a 45 arch CC. If I did, he would have got through it relatively easily. But look at all the health he's losing, and that's mainly because of this Grand Warden placement. The Grand Warden hitting the queen whilst you deal with the CC is the worst thing for a queen charge in Clash of Clans. So unfortunately, he has to freeze there. Hybrid coming in on the top side. He's trying to force his queen into this town hall compartment by starting the hybrid. But the one mistake he made was sending his RC with this hybrid, because his queen's going to utterly betray him here. I felt kind of bad at this point. Tesla Farm at the top is riddled with spring traps, which I really like, because you kind of know with hybrid, there's only so many ways they can queen charge. So with your spring traps, you either put them next to the town hall to trip up Yeti bombs, or you put them like around the far side of the base where the hybrids often meant to come in. And as you can see, he doesn't even get close to the town hall. Was a little unlucky, but even if his queen got the town hall here somehow, I don't think he was getting the base. I think this scatter and ground bow would have put work onto him. And any 1-star in Legends is insane. You're less likely to get a 1-star on this style of base, because obviously the town hall is very accessible, but I can't recommend this base enough in mid to mid-high Legends League. Once you get high, you will take triples. That's just the nature of it all. But it's still held really well for me. And the base link will be down in the description below if you want to use it for next season, because I would highly recommend it. If it's built by Yo-Yo, you know it's good stuff. Anyways, that's it for the video. Just in case you were wondering the exact rank I got 543rd in the world. The Legends League season just reset. I'll be pushing again this season, but I don't think I'll do it with Inferno Riders just because they struggle so much on those box bases. I might change up to P.E.K.K.A. Smash, honestly, but let me know what you think I should try. You guys know how I attack just as well as anybody. And if you enjoy this style of content, please let me know below. I haven't really done this before, but I also haven't really pushed this high up into Legends. If you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I see you soon.